What if I told you that in just 90 days, you could become unrecognizable to your current self, not in theory, in reality? The way you move, the way you speak, the way you handle pressure. What if, 3 months from now, the version of you who hesitates, who scrolls, who second guesses was gone, and in his place stood someone sharper, stronger, focused, a builder, a closer, a force? That's not a fantasy. That's a decision. And if you're serious about making the next 90 days the most powerful, most disciplined, most transformative season of your life, you need to study this video from start to finish. Watch it more than once. Not for hype, but for execution. This is about how to actually do it step by step, ritual by ritual, mindset by mindset. The blueprint you've been waiting for is here. But let me be clear from the start. This isn't a motivational boost. This isn't a feel-good pump-up. This is war. A declaration against the old you, against the habits that keep you stuck, against the excuses you keep recycling like they're facts. 90 days. One decision. Go all in or stay average. Because here's the truth. 90 days isn't magic. It's math. 3 months of radical consistency is enough to build habits that rewire your identity. It's enough to compound small wins into unshakable momentum. It's enough to rise above 99% of people sleepwalking through their routines, convincing themselves that someday is a real plan. But none of that happens unless you lock in, unless you eliminate distraction, unless you remove the escape routes and treat this like your last chance to finally follow through. You've said you're ready before, but this time you prove it. And if you're serious about this path, hit subscribe right now, because I'm going to walk with you through the full journey. Not just today, but every step ahead. These aren't quick hits. These are deep dives. And if you stay locked in, if you truly commit, the world won't recognize the version of you that walks out on day 90. But it all starts here. You've got 90 days to flip the switch. And this video, this is where you burn the old blueprint. Let's build a new one. And let's begin. A man who is truly decided burns his bridges, not metaphorically, not half-heartedly, not with a backup plan hiding in his pocket. He removes the exit. He makes retreat impossible. And because of that decision, that real decision, he becomes someone else, not later. Now, this is what it means to lock in. For 90 days, your life becomes narrow, focused, forged. Every day, you stack proof that you are not who you used to be. And every day, your brain rewires itself to believe it. There's psychology to this hard science. Your brain operates through patterns, through repetition. Every time you make a choice, your mind carves a groove. Do it once, it's nothing. Do it twice, it remembers. Do it every day for 90 days, without deviation, without apology, without negotiation, and that becomes your identity. And once your identity shifts, you don't try anymore, you are. It's who you are to wake up early. It's who you are to go all in. It's who you are to choose discipline over comfort. This is why 90 days matters. Not because it's long enough to try something, but because it's long enough to become someone. And let's be real. This isn't about hype. This is about physics, momentum. Most people never get momentum because they keep resetting. They do 3 days, then skip 1. They do a week, then fall off for 2. They're always starting over, always chasing the spark. They wait for motivation. But motivation is a liar. Discipline? That's the truth. Because discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't ask if you're tired. It doesn't care what the weather is like or what your friends are doing. Discipline moves, and movement creates momentum. Momentum is what turns hard into automatic. It's what turns effort into flow. It's what separates the man who keeps restarting from the man who rises. Because once you cross a certain threshold, once the habits click, once the body adapts, once the mind sees proof, something flips. And now, the work starts pulling you forward instead of pushing you back. But to get there, you've got to go through pain, through friction, through the part where it feels like it's not working. That's the barrier most never cross. But I want you to remember this. Resistance is not the enemy. It's the signal. It means you're evolving. Think about it. Muscles don't grow without tension. Skills don't sharpen without repetition. Identity doesn't shift without emotional friction. When it gets hard, when you want to stop, when the old habits start whispering, that's the edge. That's where most people fold. That's where you don't. Because you've decided, and a real decision, it's not about feeling good. It's about becoming great. Discomfort is the price of the next version of you. You won't get it without cost. You won't ease your way into transformation. You'll pay for it in discipline, in focus, in energy. But once it's yours, it's yours. That identity becomes your armor, that mindset becomes your fuel, and from that point forward, everything changes. The man who locks in for 90 days doesn't come out the same because he's trained his brain to obey purpose, not mood. He's practiced showing up when no one's clapping. He's rewritten the story from I'm trying to I am. So this is the choice. Do you play with the idea of changer? Do you become it? Because when you go all in, when you remove the exit and burn the bridge, you force your nervous system to adapt, your environment to shift, your habits to bend toward the standard you just set. That's how identity is forged. Not in one day, but in 90 consecutive ones. So stop waiting for the path to feel smooth. It won't. It's not supposed to. The discomfort is not a red light, it's green. It's your signal to lean in, to keep going, to keep building. Because 90 days from now, if you stay locked in, you won't just feel different. You'll be different. And the world won't recognize you. But more importantly, neither will the man you used to be. There's a moment in every transformation where you stop asking, what should I do? And start demanding, what must be done? This is that moment. The first two parts of this video set the foundation. They lit the fire. But this is where we build the furnace. This is where we create a structure so strong, so focused, so unbreakable that failure becomes harder than success. Let me introduce you to the 90-day lock-in blueprint. It's simple, brutal, effective. It's not designed for ease. It's designed to make you evolve. These 90 days will be structured around 4 pillars, non-negotiable actions you will complete every single day. Each pillar is designed to sharpen a specific part of you. And when practiced together day after day, they forge a version of you that's clearer, stronger, and more dangerous than anything you've been before. Let's go through each one. Pillar 1, mind. You can't outperform your own thoughts. Every day for the next 90 days, you will spend 1 full hour feeding your mind deliberately. This is not passive content. This is focused input, reading high-quality books, reflecting deeply on your actions and thoughts, writing down insights, goals, affirmations. This hour is about building perspective, not entertainment. It's time to download powerful software into your brain. Why is this important? Because most people run on autopilot. They consume junk. Their minds are cluttered with distractions, opinions, negativity, and noise. But not you. Not anymore. From now on, your mind becomes your greatest weapon. Choose books that challenge you. Write ideas that stretch you. Reflect on what you're doing, why you're doing it, and who you're becoming. 1 hour a day doesn't just upgrade your thoughts, it rewires your identity. You begin to speak differently, move differently, think strategically. Why? Because your mind has been fed with purpose, not noise. And over 90 days, you've installed a new operating system. Pillar 2, body. The body fuels the mind. The mind commands the body. Every day, you train minimum 30 minutes, ideally up to 60. The goal is intensity, not perfection. You can run, lift, box, stretch, climb, hike, but you move. Period. This isn't about aesthetics. It's about energy and discipline. Your body is your base. And if your body is weak, your focus will crack. Your mind will fatigue. Your drive will slip. You don't need a gym. You don't need a trainer. You don't need a playlist. You need commitment. Sweat daily. Push yourself daily. Sweat out doubt. Build pain tolerance. Become comfortable being uncomfortable, because every drop of sweat is a decision made. I don't negotiate with weakness. And soon, your body becomes an Ancora force multiplier. It won't just carry your weight. It'll carry your standards. Pillar 3, mission. Every day, you build the dream one brick at a time. This is where most people fail. They wake up and let life happen to them. You won't. Every day you give your craft, your calling, your dream, 90 minutes of uninterrupted deep work, no distractions, no scrolling, no checking your phone, 1.5 hours minimum. If you're a writer, you write. If you're a business builder, you build. If you're learning a new skill, you train. And if you don't know what your mission is, yet finding it becomes your mission. You read, you journal, you try. You start building anyway. You move forward until clarity arrives. Why 90 minutes? Because most people don't even give their goals 90 minutes a week, and they wonder why nothing changes. This block of time, Practice daily. Becomes your edge. It compounds. It sharpens your skills. It separates you. 90 minutes a day equals 105 hours in 70 days. That's a part-time job's worth of mastery. This is where you build what they can't see yet, and when it's done, they'll feel it. Pillar 4. Stillness. If your mind is never still, your potential is never clear. Every single day, for at least 10 to 20 minutes, you will sit in stillness. No phone, no noise, no stimulation, no talking, no input. Just you, your breath, your mind, your presence. This is where you defragment, where you drop back into yourself. This stillness is not wasted time. It is the sharpening of focus. It's where stress dissolves. It's where ideas form. It's where you remember what matters. You can sit in meditation, you can walk in nature, you can lie on the floor and breathe. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you disconnect from the noise and reconnect with your mission. Most people are addicted to stimulation, so their thoughts aren't their own. You will break that cycle. You will train presence, because presence leads to clarity, and clarity leads to power. Now let's go deeper. Most people underestimate how chaotic their inner world is. They think productivity means more input, more stimulation, more motion. But the elite, the ones who move with precision, they understand. Stillness isn't the absence of work. It's the foundation of intelligent execution. You have to give your mind space to breathe, to think for itself. Stillness is not inactivity. It's alignment. It's recovery. It's where your nervous system resets, your vision clears, and your obsession becomes calibrated. So sit down. Breathe deep. No phone, no music, just presence, just you. You'll feel resistance at first. Good. That means your mind is detoxing. Let the thoughts rise. Let them pass. Observe without reacting. You're not here to control the noise. You're here to watch it fade. Do this for 10 to 20 minutes daily and watch your focus multiply. 5th pillar, non-negotiation. You will do what you said you would do. Period. This pillar is where boys become men, where talk becomes transformation. This is the code that holds the structure together. No negotiation means you don't miss days. You don't make excuses. You don't move your standards depending on how you feel. This is your internal contract. You signed it the day you started this 90-day sprint, and from that moment on, there's no escape hatch. Because here's what most people don't understand. Success isn't a talent problem, it's a negotiation problem. They start strong, but as soon as it gets hard, they start talking to themselves. Just today, I'll skip. I'll go easier tomorrow. I've done enough. And little by little, they weaken their own identity. They teach their subconscious, my word means nothing. Not you. You will do it anyway. When it's hard, when it's boring, when it's inconvenient. Especially when it's inconvenient, that's when the identity shift happens. That's when the future version of you starts to believe you. No negotiation doesn't mean perfection. It means no quitting. If you miss your deep work block, you make it up that night. If you miss your workout, you go twice as hard tomorrow. But you do not allow yourself to become soft. Not now. Not in this phase. Remember the line, discomfort is the price of the next version of you. Let me repeat that. Discomfort is the price of the next version of you, and the payment is daily. If you love this line as much as I do, definitely press that like and subscribe button. Now, if you follow this to the letter, every day, without compromise, your life cannot not change. Here's what happens. Your mind sharpens, your decisions become faster, your vision clearer, your thoughts more elevated. Your body becomes a vessel for power, not just in appearance, but in how you carry yourself. Confident, capable, composed. Your mission starts to move. You're no longer paralyzed by overthinking. You're executing daily. Your presence becomes magnetic, not by accident, but because you've trained it. Silence, focus, calm. You've stepped away from the scattered masses. And your discipline? It's no longer a tactic. It's your identity. It's not something you do. It's who you are now. And that's the entire point of the 90-day lock-in. Not to check boxes, not to follow a routine, but to become the kind of person who no longer needs to be convinced to rise. You don't need reminders. You don't need applause. You just move. You just build. You just live differently. Because the old version of you, he negotiated with fear, with comfort, with doubt. The new version, he follows one rule: no negotiation. If you're truly serious about transformation, about becoming someone you've never been, then you have to make decisions today that you don't revisit tomorrow. That's what we call 90-day decisions. You don't get to decide every morning whether you'll follow through. That's how amateurs think. That's how the old you operated. The new you makes the choice once and then lives inside it. The power of this phase is certainty. You choose what gets cut, and that choice stands. No renegotiation when you're tired. No reconsidering when you're tempted. No watering it down because your friends don't get it. You made the call, and now the only thing that matters is discipline. So, what gets cut? Distractions gone. That means mindless scrolling, cheap stimulation, content that entertains but doesn't build. It's off the table. Your environment is the battlefield. And if you let low-value inputs seep in, they will infect your focus. So from now on, if it doesn't multiply your mission, it doesn't belong in your day. Gossip gone. Drama gone. You're not available for small talk that keeps you small. Every conversation over these next 90 days must serve a purpose to sharpen you, to align you, to elevate you, or it's stealing your energy. And your energy? It's sacred. Protect it like a vault. You cannot build something great if your focus is constantly fractured by nonsense. And then there's alcohol. Let's be honest, you already know. If your mind is truly serious about growth, clarity, building power from the inside out, then there's no room for substances that dull your edge. Drinking might feel like release, but what it really is regression. It lowers your frequency. It disrupts your sleep. It muddies the clarity you need to make hard moves. Cut it. Full stop. Not forever, but for now. For this phase. For this sprint into a higher version of you. Now let's talk about dopamine. Most people aren't addicted to distraction, they're addicted to the chemistry of distraction. The quick hits, the micro rewards, the endless notifications, noise, novelty. Your brain has been hijacked by micro-stimulation, and until you detox, you'll keep chasing crumbs instead of building kingdoms. You need to reset your baseline. That means silence, that means boredom, that means discipline. The next 90 days aren't about chasing dopamine. They're about retraining your mind to find fulfillment in hard focus, deep work, physical effort, and quiet growth. It will be uncomfortable at first. That's how you know it's working. The environment you build for this phase, it's everything. Try to do this in a chaotic, overstimulated space and you will fail. So clean it, clear it, make it sacred, make it sharp. You're not building a vibe, you're building a launch pad. Your space should remind you every time you step into it, this is where I go to win. No more working from bed. No more multitasking. No more background noise. Your space must be silent, focused, intentional. Your room, your kitchen, your phone, your laptop, all of it becomes part of your system. Nothing random, nothing casual, everything by design. And this isn't just about your physical space, it's your mental space too. It has to become monastic. That means boundaries. That means protecting your time from people who don't understand your path. That means deleting apps, muting group chats, and killing the habit of checking your phone every 5 minutes for no reason. You are building a container for transformation. Nothing leaks in, nothing leaks out. Because every time you allow distractions into your life, you're sending a message to your subconscious. I don't really mean it. And once that message takes root, discipline dies. But when you wake up and follow through, even when no one's watching, even when it's boring, even when it's uncomfortable, you send the opposite message. This is who I am now. That's how you rebuild identity, one act of alignment at a time. Your mind doesn't need more motivation, it needs orders. You've got to stop letting your mood dictate your behavior. Stop checking in with your emotions before you take action. You must become the kind of person who moves regardless of how they feel. Because if moods run your life, your results will always be inconsistent. This is the season of commanding yourself, of reprogramming your thoughts to serve your vision. Not your weakness, not your cravings, not your fear, your vision. So, decide now. What are your non-negotiables? What are you cutting? What are you keeping? What gets your energy? And what never will again? And once you answer those questions, you live inside the answer. You lock it in, you move. Because this isn't about discipline for discipline's sake. This is about becoming someone who finishes the mission. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they're inconsistent. They start strong, they get excited, they write goals, they buy the planner, they binge the videos. But the moment the emotion fades, so does their action. That's the root issue. They rely on motivation. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel inspired. But motivation is a mood, and moods are unstable. You cannot build an unshakable life on unstable fuel. So how do you stay consistent without motivation? You build from identity, not emotion. And that starts with something called identity anchoring. It means you stop acting like the person you've been, and you start acting like the person you're becoming. Not someday now, not when you feel confident, not when the results show up. Now, you carry yourself like someone who has already earned it. You don't try to be disciplined. You are disciplined. You don't hope to be consistent. You live like consistency is your natural state. Why? Because behavior follows identity. If you see yourself as someone who quits, you will keep quitting. If you see yourself as someone who follows through, you will, even when it's hard. The key is acting from that place every single day until your actions reshape your self-image. It's not about faking it. It's about becoming it one decision at a time. Next, stop obsessing over goals. Set them once, then forget them. Shift your focus from goals to systems. A goal is a destination. A system is the vehicle that gets you there. Goals don't keep you consistent. Systems do. You don't rise by obsessing over the outcome. You rise by mastering the process. So what's your system? What do you do every morning? What do you do every evening? What does your work block look like? Your workout routine, your reading time, your check-in moment? These systems must be so simple, so embedded that you don't even think, you don't negotiate, you don't delay, you just execute. And to support those systems, you track theme every single day. If you don't track it, it didn't happen. That's not just a motivational line. That's the truth. Your brain will lie to you. It will convince you you're doing better than you are. It will forget how many workouts you skipped. It will rewrite the story to protect your ego. But numbers don't lie. Data doesn't care how you felt. If it's on the tracker, it happened. If it's note, it didn't. So build a habit tracker. Print a calendar. Use sticky notes on your wall. Make it visual. Why? Because the human brain craves momentum. It loves seeing progress. That little check mark, that filled-in box that's dopamine tied to discipline, not distraction. It builds confidence. It builds clarity. It keeps you moving even on the days you don't feel like it. And once you see that chain of check marks, that streak of wins, you won't want to break it. You'll hesitate before skipping a workout. You'll think twice before going to bed without finishing your deep work. Because now you see the cost. And that visible cost, that awareness is what will keep you aligned when motivation disappears. Now build a ritual. Same wake-up time, same morning flow, same nightly routine. Ritual is what creates rhythm. Rhythm is what builds momentum. Momentum is what makes effort feel natural. This is about automation, about constructing a life where your habits carry you, not the other way around. If you want to lock in for 90 days, then make the first hour and the last hour of your day sacred. No randomness, no negotiation. Your morning is for priming your mind, your reading, your movement, your silence, your intention. Your evening is for winding down, reflection, planning, removing stimulation. Bookend your day with discipline, and the middle will take care of itself. And when it gets hard, and it will go back to your identity anchor, ask yourself, what would the man I'm becoming do right now? Would he skip the habit? Would he scroll instead of focus? Would he let discomfort lead? Or would he stand up even tired, even overwhelmed, and do the thing anyway? That question will change your life, because the answer is always there. And the more you choose it, the more you become it. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about becoming unshakable in your rhythm. It's about removing the weight of daily decisions. You don't ask if you'll work. You don't ask if you'll train. You do it because that's who you are now. So build the systems, track the work, anchor the identity, and never again let motivation be the reason you move or the reason you stop. From now on, you are the reason you keep going. You're going to hit 3 walls on this 90-day path, not because you're weak, but because real transformation demands resistance. No one walks into a new life without confronting the ghosts of their old one. The question isn't if it'll get hard. It's will you keep going anyway? The first wall comes fast around day 7 to day 10. Resistance kicks in. The honeymoon phase ends. The excitement fades. The dopamine from starting something new dies down. And now, it's just you, the work, and your old self trying to pull you back. You'll hear the voices in your head. It's too much. Take a break. You've earned a day off. But that's not truth. That's your past identity begging for comfort. Listen closely, this is your first test. And it's one you pass in silence. This wall matters because it reveals who you've been. It shows you the habits, the coping mechanisms, the unconscious patterns that kept you stuck. You don't fight this wall by yelling at it. You walk through it quietly, relentlessly, one disciplined action at a time. Every time you show up, despite resistance, you chip away at the old self. Every rep, every page, every focused work block, you're building a new mind. And your old one feels that. That's why it pushes back. But that's also how you know you're on the right path. Then comes the second wall around day 30. This one's sneaky. You're not struggling anymore. You're just bored. The routine feels repetitive. The grind feels numb. There's no applause. No breakthrough. Just work. This is where most people quit. Not from pain, but from doubt. Is this even working? Is it worth it? Maybe I should change it up. Understand your enemy at day 30 is not failure. It's distraction. The temptation to start over, to tweak everything, to abandon what's finally working because it doesn't feel exciting anymore. But this is where greatness is born. In the boredom, in the discipline of showing up anyway, when no one's watching, when nothing's changing, when all you have is the schedule, the system, and the silence you keep swinging. Because what you don't see is that beneath the surface, everything is changing. Your brain is rewiring. Your focus is sharpening. Your emotions are stabilizing. You are becoming a different man. Not through hype, through habit, and soon it starts to show. Day 60. This is when the rebirth begins. You wake up and something feels different. You're sharper, calmer. You talk less. You act more. Your habits don't feel like effort. They feel like you. Your body starts responding. Your mind stops resisting. The resistance has turned into rhythm. And now you feel the difference. You're not motivated. You're grounded. You're not chasing goals. You're living your standard. And that shift, that's when you realize, I'm not the same person anymore. But the true reward, the real shift, comes at day 90. This isn't hype. This isn't fake confidence. This is evidence. Your life looks different. Your decisions feel different. Your environment has changed. You're carrying a new energy. People feel it. You feel it. Not because you said anything, but because you became someone else. Quietly, relentlessly, repetitively. And the beauty of it? You didn't need applause. You didn't need motivation. You didn't need to feel ready. You just kept showing up every day. Every step through the resistance, through the boredom, through the silence. That's what makes it real. That's what makes it yours. By day 90, you don't just see progress. You see a new identity, built from pain, forged in repetition, anchored in silence. This isn't some 3-week hype sprint. This is real transformation, the kind that doesn't fade, the kind that doesn't need to be posted, the kind that rewrites who you are at the core. And here's the truth: most people will never make it this far, not because they can't, but because they didn't decide. They flirted with change. You committed to it. So when resistance shows up, lean in. When boredom creeps in, stay locked in. When the rebirth begins, honor it. Because what's waiting for you on the other side of 90 days is the version of you they said didn't exist. There will come a moment, maybe more than one, when you'll want to quit. You'll convince yourself it's too much, that it doesn't matter, that one missed day won't hurt, that maybe starting over later would actually be smarter. That voice? That's not logic. That's resistance wearing a friendly face. This is the part most people never prepare for. The battle within. Not the schedule. Not the environment. Not the external noise. The inner war. And when it hits, when your mind starts negotiating, rationalizing, begging for an exit, you have to remember exactly why you started. Say it to yourself. The man who wants it easy will never meet the man he's capable of becoming. That version of you, the disciplined, focused, unrecognizable version, he isn't born in comfort. He's born the moment you refuse to quit. That's the line in the sand. It's called definiteness of purpose. The unwavering commitment to a clearly defined goal. Not a wish. Not a hope. A decision. And once you make that decision, truly make it, quitting is no longer an option. You stop checking the weather to decide if you'll train. You stop asking if you feel like writing. You stop waiting for motivation. You show up, because purpose doesn't care how you feel. This is how warriors train, like it's war, like it's now or never. You don't build discipline in perfect conditions. You build it when everything in you wants to escape and you stay anyway. So what do you do when that moment comes when the voice says quit? You anchor. You breathe. You speak your reset phrase. I said 90, not 9. 9 days of effort doesn't change a life. 90 days of relentless, aligned, locked-in execution does. This is the contract you made. Not with the world, not with your followers, with yourself. And that contract is non-negotiable. Remind yourself, pain is temporary. Discomfort is a signal. It means you're evolving. Resistance is feedback that you're doing something new, something your old self cannot survive. So don't run from the pain, use it. Let it sharpen you. Let it strip away the softness, the excuses, the fragility. Because every time you keep going when you wanted to quit, you gain something money can't buy, self-respect. And that is the root of all confidence. So when you want to quit, don't breathe, reset, recommit. Say it again. I said 90, not 9. And then get back to work. There's a moment, if you stay in it long enough, where the effort starts to feel different, where the habits stop feeling forced, where the resistance softens, where the voice that once whispered, "This is too hard," is replaced by something stronger. This is who I am now. That's not motivation. That's identity. And identity is everything, because repetition forges identity. What you do daily becomes what you believe. And what you believe shapes how you move, what you tolerate, how you think, how you act when no one's watching. You're no longer just checking boxes. You're not dragging yourself through tasks. You're proving something deeper with every rep, every ritual, every quiet act of discipline. You're saying, I am the kind of person who does this every day without needing to be told. You're not chasing the goal anymore. You're becoming the person who sets goals, executes them, and exceeds them. Because that's simply what you do now. You're not trying to get better. You are better. You're not waiting to become that next level version of yourself. You're building I-tone rep at a time. This is what's called auto-suggestion. Feeding your mind with the identity you choose until it takes root and becomes your reality. And that's why this video, this process, isn't something you watch once. It's something you immerse in. You study it. You replay it. You speak it to yourself until your subconscious doesn't just believe it, it becomes it. Because the man who rewires his mind rewires his life. The more you repeat the right words, the more your thoughts shift. And once your thoughts shift, your habits follow. Then your actions. Then your outcomes. And eventually your entire identity upgrades. Not because of hype, because of consistency. Because you anchored it every single day for 90 days. Say it again. I am the builder. I don't wait for conditions. I create them. I'm not hoping for a breakthrough. I'm building it. Let that loop in your mind again and again until it becomes louder than the doubt, stronger than the resistance, more real than the old version of you ever was. Because when this ends, you don't go back. You don't finish the 90 days. You emerge different, sharper, unrecognizable. And the world won't be able to deny what you've become because you won't need to say a word. The results will speak louder than anything else ever could. So watch this again. Study it. Let it reprogram you. Let it burn into your mind until you're no longer forcing the work. You're breathing it. This is how you shift. Not with a single decision, but with 90 days of becoming. They won't see it coming. And that's the point. Disappear for Helfem's days. Let them wonder where you went. Let them guess. Let them assume you fell off, that you gave up, that you lost the fire. Don't correct them. Don't defend yourself. Just go quiet and build. Because what you're building doesn't need their attention. It needs your obsession. Not half-hearted effort. Not convenient commitment. All in. Focused. Locked in. Undistracted. Every day. Every rep. Every brick. And when you re-emerge, you'll do it with proof. Not a post. Not a speech. Evidence. They'll feel it in your energy before they ever see it in your results. They'll hear it in your tone, your words, your walk. And they'll realize the version of you they once knew doesn't exist anymore. That's what happens when you commit with finality. When you stop negotiating. When you stop chasing and start becoming. You come back different. Sharper. Quieter, more powerful, not because you faked it, but because you earned it. And when you do, you don't explain it. You let the results do the talking. You let your silence echo louder than their noise. Because here's the truth. You don't need to be seen. You need to become undeniable. So if something inside you just woke up, if there's a fire burning in your chest right now, don't let it die in 10 minutes. Don't let it fade when the screen goes dark. Commit. Lock in for 90. Make the decision. Mark the day. Build the system. Eliminate the noise. And give yourself the chance to meet the version of you that's been waiting on the other side of this war.